Welcome back, Hive Mind. This is Shalazar with Hive Mind Gaming, coming at you with another Raid Shadow Legends video. So we got a huge times 10 this weekend. I mean huge. It's gonna want to suck you in. Don't let it. We've got a fusion coming out next week. So if you've got the shards, I mean, you're gonna want to do this fusion or this times 10. You're really gonna want to do it. Now, just for those that don't realize, times 10 doesn't mean you get times 10 chance to pull a legendary or an epic. It just means if you pull an epic or a legendary, there's a times 10 chance to pull that specific epic or legendary that they're going to have on display down here. So it doesn't mean that it's a better chance of pulling one, just a better chance of pulling that specific one if you actually pull one. So you'll still have the same chances as you always do to pull them. All right. So let's get into who we have. First, for our Void Legendary, Raglan. Okay, so she's fantastic. I use her everywhere in Doom Tower. I use her in 3v3 Arena. I pretty much use her, and you can use her pretty much anywhere. She's got the best res in the game, in my opinion. It's on a 2-turn cooldown. It only is one person, but it gives them 100% turn meter. I mean, she's just so good. So good. She's a great counter to Lydia, because Lydia says, no, you can't revive. Well, in 2 turns, she's going to try to revive them again, and Lydia can't do anything about it. So she's a pretty, let me rephrase. She's a pretty good counter to Lydia. So I love her. I've used the hell out of her. Is she worth spending your shards on to chase her this weekend? To be honest, if you have the shards, yes, but if you're planning on going for the new fusion, no, I wouldn't do it at all. I wouldn't spend any shards at all if you plan on going for the fusion this weekend. All right, so our next, the hits just keep on coming. So our next legendary is gonna be Lisandra. Everyone should want Lisandra. She is good everywhere. I mean everywhere. Well, except for Clan Boss. But everywhere else. She is fantastic in Arena, Doom Tower, Dungeons. I mean everywhere. She transfers debuffs to their opponent. She fully depletes turn meters. She increases your team's speed and turn meter. She's got a speed lead. She's just good, man. She is good. She will speed your teams up. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Speaking of speeding your teams up, the speed master himself for speedruns, Prince Kymar. He will absolutely increase the speed of all of your speed runs. He is primary in probably 99% of all speed runs. He's probably the primary reason or source because of it. He is the prince of speed runs. He's got a speed lead. He's got a cooldown reset. Absolutely resets all your abilities, everybody's abilities, except people who have this similar type ability. And then, not only that, if he can't get any better, he's got an AoE, removes all buffs, and then puts everybody to sleep. Insane for Arena. I mean, just really good for Arena and Waves, to be honest. Waves in Dungeons, Waves in Doom Tower. He's just so good. And then his A1 is also an AoE. So great for stun set. I run mine in a stun set just for shits and giggles. But great for a stun set. Great for, I mean, just anything, really, to be perfectly honest. I mean, he's just good. He's so good. Is him and Lisandra worth pulling shards? I mean, yeah, man, they really are. But again, if you're going for this fusion coming up, you're gonna need shards for 2 different summon events. 2, and we don't know what this event's gonna be. We don't know if it's going to be an old school fusion. We don't know if it's going to be a fragment collector, and we don't know if it's going to be a hybrid fragment fusion, old school, whatever the hell they're calling it. The hybrid they did for Brogni. To be honest, it's leaning towards that because of the amount of champions that are coming out next week. So there's 4 epics coming out and 4 rares. That doesn't really lean itself to the old school fusion. I mean, they have done it in the past where there's 4 rares that come out and you have to get 4 copies of each one of those rares throughout the tournaments and events, and then fuse those into the epics and then the epics into the legendary. So they could do that. But unfortunately, it's leaning towards the fact that they may do it the way they did Brogni, which is the hybrid. And if they do that, you can't really skip anything. You have to be in full blast on all the events, or you're gonna miss the legendary. So just keep that in mind when you're pulling shards this weekend. If you don't have enough for the fusion, or you're not wanting to go for the fusion, absolutely this times 10 is where you're going to want to be. All right, so one more legendary, and you know, this one's a good legendary as well, and this one might make you want to pull shards as well, and that's going to be Lanikus. So Lanikus is one of the cooler ally attack champs in the game. She is really good for Doom Tower. She's really good everywhere. She's really good for blender comps in the arena. She's good for boosting damage in clan boss. I mean, she's just good. She's all around good. Usually they have a theme when they do times 10. I think this theme for this times 10 is, how do I get my players to waste their shards before the fusion? So if they want the fusion, they have to spend money. I think that's the theme of this times 10. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. All right, so let's get into the epics for this times 10. So the first epic is going to be Golden Reaper. It's actually one of the very few epics that I don't own. So Golden Reaper is really good, kind of like Prince Kymar. She has a reset, which is on her A1. It decreases the cooldown, anyway, not a reset, but it reduces the cooldown of a random skill of one of your other champions, and she's just all around good kit. She's got a really good kit. So if you ever played with the reflex set, she kind of has that on her A1. So kind of neat. She's really cool. I really wouldn't mind having a copy of her so that I could play around with her kit. But alas, the raid gods and DJ RNG have not smiled down upon me. All right, so next we've got the old hermit Joreg. I really like this dude. This dude actually helped me finish Faction Wars 21 for the orc. So really solid champ. He's got HP burn on his A1. He's got the ability to buff allies and fill their turn meters on his A2, and he's got a revive with some perfect veil and turn meter manipulation on his A3. So he's just a really good orc. He's the best reviver in the orc faction. Yeah, I know. Everybody say a prayer for Shaman because, well, she blows. So let's move on to the next one. Then the next one, we've got the legendary in an epic body, Deacon Armstrong. Is he worth pulling shards for? God, yeah, absolutely, yes, he is. But not if you're going for the fusion. So I'm just gonna stick with that. If you can get that legendary, get that legendary. Because if you can complete the fusion, that's a guaranteed legendary. If you're going to do the times 10, it's not guaranteed that you're going to get any of these champions. It's just not. I mean, if you're pulling Sacreds, then you've got a better chance of pulling Deacon Armstrong because you're going to get an epic. So you'll have a times 10 chance to pull Deacon. So Sacreds might be a good way to get Deacon, but then again, Sacreds, you're pulling Sacreds. So I don't know. I mean, it's really up to you guys what you want to do. I would not suggest it. All right, last but not least, this last one is not worth anything other than she looks really cool. I don't think anyone really... I don't know of anyone that really uses her, but she looks really cool. I mean, she's got some childbearing hips, but I mean, I don't think you're going to get close enough to test those hips out. Sashi, I mean, her kit is okay, but I mean, I don't know of anyone that's going to use her, to be perfectly honest. I don't think she's anywhere near as good as any of the others that were listed. I really don't. All the others are really good champions, but her. So all of this whole times 10 are fantastic champions, with the exception of her. Are they worth pulling shards for? Absolutely. Pull your shards if you have extras, or if you don't want to go for the fusion. Pull your shards, because this is the times 10 to do it on. So, but that's pretty much it. This was just going to be a really quick one today. So let me know in the comments if you are planning on going for this fusion, or if you're bypassing it, because that will let us know if you're going for this times 10. Because if you're not going for the fusion, I would pull every single shard I had. Abso-freaking-lutely, because this is, if there's any times 10 to go for, this is the one. So, unless you have all those champs. If you have those champs, then don't worry about it. Enjoy your day off, your weekend off, whatever. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you guys think about these champions, if you're going to pull them, if you're not. And then other than that, that's it for this video. So, if you like what you've seen and you want to see more, hit the like button and join the Hive by hitting the subscribe button. And we'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.